Okay, I think we could call the meeting to order. Are there any oral communications? Okay, thank you. Are there any changes to the minutes?
Move to approve.
Second. Oh, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Okay, library trust review.
Were there any questions about the library trust report?
Did we give an overview of what the trust is last meeting for the new board members?
No, we didn't.
Okay, can you just give a quick overview of the trust for our new board members?
Sure. So we tried to clean it up last year, and I think we did a pretty good job at combining most of the funds. And so we have our beginning fund balance was the $436,902.14. The revenues come from trust dividends from past investments. Most of them are oil, and we get a few in probably maybe 2 every quarter, and those are deposited. And the general donations come from donations within the library. So people actually physically coming in and making a donation, not to any of our friends groups. And library sales, those are the things that you help us buy, like the thumb drives, the bags. And as far as other revenue, your guess is kind of as good as mine. We would need Christina Holmes to tell us exactly where that comes from. The others are trusts that have been left to the library over the years and have remained in there, and we've drawn from them as needed. Like last year, we purchased new chairs for all of the offices in the library. Upcoming, we do know we are going to be the recipient of another trust. So we're very excited about that. When we first got it, we thought maybe it was just going to be a huge truckload of books that we would have to sift through. It turns out it's actual money, and it is anticipated to be around the amount of $300,000. So we're very excited, and so you'll be hearing about that in a Board of Trustees meeting in the future. But the available fund balance at this point for future projects is $325,585.19.
Okay, for the benefit of the 2 new trustees, does somebody want to explain what we did with the Pioneer Room for $13,000 and change?
Explain what?
Just tell them what we spent the money on for the Pioneer Room.
Oh, yes, Pioneer Room. Do you want to go ahead? Okay, so the Pioneer Room, we got a new scanner, a very nice book scanner for our more historical, fragile items so that we can continue to scan and upload. And then it also, sorry, that's a 2-year ago trust I started to tell you about. It was a cloud that we're trying to increase our digital holdings, so turning our photo collections into basically internet archives that people can access and request to utilize them however they want. We won't really charge unless it's something that they're going to publish and potentially profit off of. And I do need to correct myself to the right. It gives you a little bit of information about each of the line items, but so for instance, the reimbursement from Scenic grant. Scenic is a grant that will be up for renewal this year. That is a discount for our broadband service for our patrons.
Thank you for that explanation. Mm-hmm. I think I saw a preview of the Internet Archive, or however that might look, a couple months ago. Is that close to launching, or the online
Yes,
site?
they've actively uploaded, I will have to check, and I can definitely send it out, either in an email or an update in the next report, because they've done a lot of work. They've really, I know they're in the thousands of uploaded images already.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there was a communication, I think, from the library last month, which featured it and said, look, take a look. It may have been in the last 2 weeks, honestly. My brain,
Okay.
I don't know if I'm tracking, but it's up. And we had a demo on it. I think that's when you were here, Francis. You were in the audience, right?
I was in the audience.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I think the other cool thing is that it's all like of archival quality. So the photos are like super crystal clear. And I think it will just be like a really great way for us to move forward with the vast amounts of resources we have. Have either of you done the tour of the Pioneer Room and seen the air-conditioned space? I don't know what you call that.
Oh, the temperature controlled.
Yeah,
archival
temperature.
room, really.
Yeah, so it has so many cool things, and a lot of the stuff when you take the tour with Aspen, she like expounds on how like there's a lot of stuff in there that like it's like a treasure trove. We don't know what's there, So it's cool.
I'll make a note to check that out at some point in the next couple of months.
Absolutely. If you can ever come on Tuesdays are kind of the easiest day for them to do tours because we have both Aspen and Ashley over there, and they're both very knowledgeable about the contents of the room.
And just one more note for the trust itself. The Board of Trustees has full jurisdiction over how to spend the funds as long as it's within what the each line item has specified. So I would say that, outside of the 96,373, or I guess that's what we've spent to date, right? So we do have access to this, and we can use it for pretty much whatever we want.
Remember correctly, I believe we have to go through a process to get approval by city council if we want to start spending the $325,000.
We have to be part of the budgetary cycle. We don't
Yeah.
have to get approval on what to spend it on.
Oh, okay.
We just have to get approval through their cycle that we're going to take it out of our funds and they're going to budget it for the following year.
Yeah, and that is that a certain time of the year, or did we turn? Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. So that was be like spring, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, if there are no other questions, we'll move on to statistics report.
Yes, so I gave you guys another sheet. I am still trying to navigate Municode and figure it out. And so the image that I uploaded cut off the May and April comparison, so you couldn't see those. But actually, compared to May and April, the numbers are up, as they typically are in June, because we have our summer reading program. So it tends to bump program numbers as well as circulation, because we have several children's books and they're all competing to read for prizes, and it's also a great way to avoid the summer slump. Also, just to highlight, our LinkedIn borrowing is still holding steady. It went down a little bit, but the numbers still look very good. They went down borrowed by our patrons in Escondido, borrowing from other libraries, but it went up a little bit in what we are actually loaning out. And you'll see our interlibrary loan as a result of Linked Plus is really getting pretty dismal, which is good. It means that if you're going through Linked Plus, you're getting items quicker, and the one or two items for interlibrary loan will probably stay almost indefinitely, because there's going to be rare books, certain items that just aren't available in a lot of locations. But other than that, were there any questions about the statistics for June in comparison to April and May?
So for the link items lent, so we lent out significantly more items than we borrowed.
Yes.
Well, that says a good thing about our collection, doesn't it?
I do. I contributed to some extent to Library IQ. I think the fact that we track what people are actually borrowing from the library gives us somewhat of an advantage. We're buying very efficiently, and we're also buying things that are popular throughout San Diego County.
I just have one question about the volunteer hours. Were those up because of the summer reading program, or was there another type of outreach there?
Which line?
The total volunteers and then the total volunteer hours are up.
No, that is a mystery to me as well. Well, yes, actually, no, that's not. You're right. It would be our teen program that happens in the summer because we get several teens that volunteer, get community service hours. So we call it the Teen Advisory Board, and they help out with the younger kids programs and things like that. So that is definitely a bump, but there's only about 14 of them. So we still had an increase in comparison if you were to subtract them out as well.
Nice, thank you.
A question on the internet, the computers. Is that a typo, or did we have a drastic increase in computer usage?
That is likely a typo. I say that because I typed it up really quickly before I came over when I saw that this didn't print out correctly. Let me look, because we do have the June stat, so I think the June stat is likely the one that's total public internet computers. Okay, yes, that one's correct. So we would have to compare the May and June. I've probably typed those in incorrectly from a line at a glance. So I apologize for that. Some of these are being created, from scratch since Katie's gone, and I'm still figuring it out. So yes, I can get back to you on what it was in the previous 2 months.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
While you're checking that, can you also check the attendance of off-site programs? Just wondering why there's such a difference there too, second to the last line.
Oh,
Maze was a typo.
I think
I
that
thought so
one
too.
is
We
simply
talked
an
about
extra
it, yeah.
zero. Yes, but I can check on that one as well.
Okay, thank you.
And then I'll just send out a follow-up email. And I can also include in that how many pictures we've uploaded to and from the Pioneer Room.
Any other questions?
I think those are the only other lines that seem obviously off. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Dara. Strategic plan?
Okay. Okay, so with our strategic plan, this go around, we're looking at resilience. So the first strategy is to reduce waste. Something we can say we've completed and give ourselves a check mark as we are very adamant about trying to take weeded materials and either give them to the bookstore or find a way to rehome them, even if it's on the free cart, before sending them off to be recycled. So that is something we are actively doing. In terms of encouraging healthy living, we had another successful succulent swap with like 143 people in attendance. We are also continuing our wellness program. So it was meditation, it will become yoga for a while, and then whatever they decide to do next in the wellness category, which is Wednesday evenings. And we also hosted our summer reading challenge to provide alternates to screen time for children and tweens by offering non-screen focused programs. They did a marshmallow engineering project where they built different structures based on what was chosen from the options. And then we had, and forgive me for if I mispronounce it, Lisueno basket weaving. So we had a group come in and teach them how to weave their own baskets as part of a craft, and it was very successful. They really enjoyed it. We also did friendship bracelet making, which I guess friendship bracelets are trending all over again, but they're all great hand-eye coordination for fine motor skills. So those were good classes we had. And I am about to repeat myself when I mentioned mindful and yoga coming up. The mindfulness meditation classes have already wrapped up in July.
Okay, no questions. So we'll move on to the library director's report.
Sure. So for the month of June and July, towards the end of July, or sorry, the end of June, we had a beginning genealogy workshop with Beth McIntyre. She's a Pioneer Room volunteer. She's been doing genealogy research for 30 years, and she gave an overview of how to do genealogy research. And that was the first class, and it had 23 attendees, which for a first-time program is really nice, good. I think it'll be something we repeat, and also can be piggybacked off of the Escondido history program we've started, where they do the walking tour, because those have been pretty successful as well. So there's definitely a history interest in our area. And we introduced a new Dungeons and Dragons workshop where participants learned how to build their character, and they basically learned, even if they had never played Dungeons and Dragons before, kind of the approach, the goals, and how to play. And for a first-time program, I think the turnout was 15. I'm trying to glance at that, which is not bad for first time. So we'll see if we have more success as we bring it back. It's a good Saturday afternoon program. In youth services, they had the Summer Reading Challenge finale with Mark Griffith. He's a ventriloquist, and he had a performance called One Voice, Many Friends. And he is an inspirational ventriloquist, and he had a very comical show that was family friendly, and it was fun to watch because everybody was laughing at completely different parts, but it seemed pretty successful. We've started a partnership with the San Diego Air and Space Museum, and they presented Storytime Engineers, a series of flying-related story times to send imagination soaring. But this is the beginning of a great partnership with them. What were they? They were, I think, pilots that came out and did the story time and were able to answer questions, share pictures, and all of that. So it's a very early on kind of intro to STEM, some of the possibilities of things you can do. And as part of the Escondido Broadband and Digital Equity Initiative, which the city is taking a lead on, we hosted an information booth to inform patrons about affordable connectivity. So many of them signed up while they were there. Tuesdays and Thursdays throughout July, the table was actually staffed so people could ask questions, learn more about it, and before just signing up. But on the non-Tuesday and Thursday days, we just had information out on the booth that stayed on display. And then, not on our list, but things for me to share is I'm leaving. I have accepted a deputy director position with Sonoma County Libraries. So I will be moving up there at the end of this month. So Dan Wood will be the point of contact for you all while we search for a replacement. And Heidi will be actively coming down more often and working directly with Joanna and Aspen, Dan, Azar, to keep everything going forward and, keep that ship sailing with the departure of both Katie and myself. Sorry for the timing on that.
Dara, thank you for your service over these years, and we hope that it's a new chapter for you that is successful and full of joy. And I really appreciated getting to know you, and you've been my only library director since serving on the board, so you will be missed. Has a decision been made about what to do with Katie's position?
So I think that they're going to leave that up to the director that they bring in. In part, it's kind of incentivizes the position. You give a little more room to make those decisions on how you see it moving forward. I know what I would like to fall into place, but I'd rather not say that. You have some really great staff there. I think in the last few years, certainly with my time off and then Katie doing the position as interim, a lot merged. So I think you could be successful in a variety of different ways, depending on who comes aboard and kind of where the skill sets fall. But I feel like you're in good hands. I will miss you all. I have definitely enjoyed my time here, but I'm pretty excited to move north.
Yeah, this is, not only is she the only library director you've had, you're pretty much, I think my first meeting, you came in as the
interviewee.
The final interviewee, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is, it's been almost 5 years then?
Yeah. Well, is it?
4.5, 5?
4.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you will be sorely missed.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
I appreciate working with you. Even during the strategic planning committee, I know we were, discussing and throwing up ideas, and anything that may have been construed as like a constructive criticism, right? I think you took that with grace, and it really shows that we really have the library's interests in mind. So I wish you the best. I know it's going to be exciting. So good luck.
Thanks.
Just ditto what everyone has said, but congratulations on the new position, and best of luck, in the future. And, if you ever want to come back, it's fine too.
Thank you.
I'm going to echo everyone else. We barely know each other because I just started, but thank you for the tour. Thank you for answering my initial questions. Always appreciate that, and congrats on your new position.
Thanks.
Definitely be visiting the Sonoma Library in the future on our travels. I have a question about the report and the San Diego Air and Space Museum program. How often do you think that will happen?
That is a good question for Dan. He implemented that relationship. I do know they're looking for people to spend a night on an aircraft carrier, if anyone's interested. Just throwing that out there. But likely it'll be maybe every other month at this point.
Okay.
So is there any arrangement where library patrons can get a deal on the entry to the Aerospace Museum?
I believe that is included in the passes that we loan out.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so we have the Museum Pass program where you can check them out from the library and go to the museums for free. It's on our list.
Yeah, but I've hit the beach twice now on the state park one, so yeah, okay, I'll look into that.
Okay.
Any other questions on the report? No? Okay, thank you. Thank you, Dara. We can go to the trustee library use report. Claralyn, do you want to start?
Sure, yeah. Let's see. When I I was in the library a couple weeks ago, and I noticed that we had our Pulitzer display up, which I was very happy to see. I know that that had been a request out of the Library Watchdog group, so I'm really glad we're continuing to do that. And then just like really randomly, but very coincidentally, when I went in there, there was another display on like gardening and canning, and it was perfect because I have a humongous amount of tomatoes in my garden, and I'm going to learn to can.
Great.
Yeah, it was great.
Piggyback off of that one. Sorry, were we going this way? No. I want to piggyback off of that one because number one on my list was that homesteading display you guys had in the front because I immediately went to that. That's not what I went for, but I was browsing at all the books. And I do want to give praise that there were some Spanish books on there as well. So I was with my sister and I was like, look, this is going to be great for mom because she likes to do her own gardening. And for the most part, she relies on like YouTube. So I think to have a book to reference, I think that was really great. So I do want to give props to that. One of the new things that I've started using the library for, because I've always just used it for like reading materials, magazines, or just books, audiobooks. I'm starting to get back into some of my crafting, but books on sewing, books on card making, that have like the patterns in them. Yeah, they have those. And I meant to get one, but I think I got 4 or 5 books. So that was pretty cool. I'm planning to go to that concert series that we have on Saturday, so I'll be there. And then the Friends of the Libraries, I don't know if this is new or on Saturday when I was there, I had my little one with me, and they said that a donor had given some funds to pay for 2 free books for every kid that came into the bookstore. So that was pretty cool.
That is really cool, and I did not know that was officially started. We knew that somebody wanted to do that, and so basically they just track how many books they give out, and he covers it, which I think is great. And yeah, so the kids can go in and pick a book, and anyone who might want to start their own home collection that may not want to spend the money to do so can come in and get a few at a time and build it up.
I had a fun time at the library this month.
Go. Well, my kids did the summer reading program or challenge, and they liked it. They also went to the bookstore, and they didn't get anything, though. They wanted to go immediately back upstairs to the computers. But I also shared a few events with neighbors. I don't know if they actually went, but I like sharing the events as much as possible. And then on that topic, I noticed in my kids' school newsletter, there was a library event in the newsletter. I think it was for the ASL, the Adult Services, and just thought that was cool and hadn't seen that type of placement in my kids' school newsletter before. So I think there's opportunities there. Yeah.
Yeah, it took us about 2 years to get cleared to share things through Peach Jar. So now that we can get some messages through to the school. Also, if your kids like digital materials over, traditional, have you used Tumble Books yet?
Have not, no.
Okay, so check out our digital offerings, because Tumble Books is kind of like Libby for kids.
Okay, we'll do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, great news on Peach Jar, too.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so I'm still reading the Barron's Weekly, which beats the heck out of buying it at Barnes & Noble for like $6. So that's great. And like I mentioned, I've been using the Parks Pass, which always seems to be available. That's the best kept secret, because if you want to go to the beach, you can go to Torrey Pine State Beach and hike, or go to the beach for $15 free. Yeah. And I'm going to go after the museum passes next.
Good deal.
I'll probably have to go by myself. My wife hates the Aerospace Museum. But.
Aerospace Museum.
Well, I like the art too, but yeah, we'll work on something.
But I think, do you have to check at the first of the month? Because do they sell out pretty quickly, do you know?
So, you know, they don't go as fast as I would
Oh,
expect. So, yeah, I think you got a good shot at it.
I think the zoo ones go
Yeah.
pretty quickly because I've been trying to snag one of those. The zoo? Yeah, I check, and I just, yeah.
Those are,
Well, zoo's very, very expensive. Zoo's expensive, so I'm not surprised, yeah.
okay. So I have a couple updates. So I was in Santa Barbara this past weekend. Just a fun fact. Do you know that the first public library in California was opened in Santa Barbara?
No.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, so I saw that historical building and plaque and was kind of proud that it would happen in California, in Southern California. And then also, Francis gave an update last month of using Hoopla, and that just reminded me that I've never downloaded it, and I've been meaning to look into it. So after all these years, I finally downloaded Hoopla, and I'm so excited because I think most of you know that I commute an hour one way every day to work, and I download a lot of audiobooks that I pay for. So this is a whole new world for me. And now I have lots. What's that? I have not used Libby yet.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Okay, good.
yeah, Libby's got tons of books on it that you'll like.
Audiobooks as well?
Yeah, audiobooks, yeah.
Okay, awesome.
limit your search to
Just audio, yeah.
Okay,
currently available, so if you get in your car in the morning,
yeah,
you realize you only have like 5 minutes left on one.
awesome. So what is the difference between Hoopla and Libby?
They're different providers, so
Okay.
Hoopla is, so you'll notice, I think we have 5 checkouts per
Yeah,
person.
mhm.
So we can control the cost because we pay per checkout. And
Okay,
it also has like some streaming things, like I think if you wanted to watch like Gilligan's Island and
Okay.
older stuff, you can stream that on Hoopla. Hoopla is also great if your kid's looking for any of the classics that typically get assigned, and then
Oh.
the kids, so folks are around in the library, they're always on Hoopla.
okay,
Hoopla is really good for the classics. Whereas Libby is what used to be Booker Drive. It's a subscription base that we have with our Sarah consortium. So we actually curate that collection. Like we choose what we want to buy. If we see there's too many holes on an item, we'll buy another copy because of just the way audio and the item works. You only get so many serves for a period of time.
okay,
And Hoopla is different. Once it exists on Hoopla, there's you never have to put something on hold. It's always available.
okay,
You just get it when you want. So that's the big difference. But the biggest complaint I get about Libby is just new items you have to wait for.
okay.
But if you do a search for what's available now, I usually have pretty luck with that.
Okay, good, thank you. Also, just, I had to call into the library and talk to the staff because I couldn't figure out my PIN number. I had no idea what that was. Super helpful, so just appreciate the service that I got, so that's it.
Yeah, that was something, so we added Hoopla during 2020, during the pandemic, and when we did it, we just wanted to make things as easy and streamlined as possible. But now that we're kind of back to normal, it's better protection for
Mhm.
you and for us from a privacy standpoint to have it. So
Yeah.
we just added that, so they're getting that all.
Okay, okay. Yeah.
It typically it's the last 4 digits of your phone number if you didn't change it or
Yeah.
something else. So
Hint.
just heads up that if you were wondering what
Yeah.
your effect is, try that before you call.
Yep, sounds good.
I just had a quick scheduling conflict. So I am going on vacation both the September 14th and October 12th, and I was wondering if we could reschedule one of those meetings so that I don't miss 2 in a row.
So are you proposing like the week before or the week after?
Yeah, whatever works. Yeah, whatever works for everybody else.
Am I allowed to turn on my phone?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
have to find the dates.
So the 7th works, the 21st works of September, and then October 5th or October 19th as well.
October 19th is not good for me.
Okay.
I think I'm traveling the week before on September 7th, so could we look at the 21st?
I think I'm good. Or September 21st.
Yeah, I can go on either side in September.
Francis, are you good the 21st?
He's getting there.
Oh, sorry.
No, I'm just.
I think I can make that work.
Okay, okay. I appreciate it, everybody. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
So, could you find out if that date works for us to use the room? It'll work? Okay.
Oh,
So
good.
September,
4 p.m.? Does that work for everybody?
kind of.
Okay. Do you want to do 6? 5? 5?
No, I'll make 4 work. I
Or-
just signed up to work the concession stand for my daughter's game, but I'll ask my mom if she could do it.
Oh,
That's okay.
Are you sure? Because we could do earlier too. I mean, okay.
Yeah.
Earlier that, if you need to.
Will earlier work for you?
For me, it does. I'm not sure about the.
Okay, can we do 3 o'clock on the 21st? Then I could do both.
I can do 3.
I can do 3.
Okay.
On 9/21.
Yeah.
9:21, 3 p.m.
Okay, thanks, you guys.
Thank you.
Uh,
Okay.
They're scheduled to meet at 3.
Okay.
But do you want me to check if, with Zach, if they're meeting or not first?
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let you guys know.
okay,
I know, and I'll loop Joanna in,
okay.
because sometimes they cancel.
Yeah, or we could, I mean, do you want to look at October? Like the 5th? Not going to work for you? Okay. And then the 19th doesn't work for Maribel.
But you can always do the 21st at like 2 or later, but I can for sure check if they're gonna actually,
Okay.
they might not.
Okay.
Actually, if they are booked if they actually do book at 3, could we do 4? Okay, then that'll be the backup plan then. So, Dara, we're planning for 3, but it might move to 4 on the 21st.
Okay.
3 o'clock.
3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna see if the historical preservation is planning on meeting, if they're not.
And when we changed the meeting time, was there anything, is there like a formal procedure?
We did everything. Like, our office handled everything. So the reservation is like. Do you have attachment A with you?
No,
And I'll just,
Me neither.
we need it.
I'll
The,
like, see, so.
I think it would just need to be updated on the library website. Yeah. Mhm.
Do you want me to, well,
Yeah, I'll also let them know, too, but, yeah, you guys will be talking about it before the meeting.
yeah, and I'll confirm the meeting and make sure everybody's.
I think we should sit and make sure we have a clear understanding.
Okay, John and I are having a sidebar, sorry. So
Okay.
we're talking about contacting Joanna to ensure that we are part of the interview process. Do you know if that was mentioned, Dara?
They always do that, like, at least for the finalists.
Yeah, but see, last time we did this with you, okay, she prefaced the whole interview process with, this is just perfunctory, your vote doesn't count. Okay, we just want you to, okay? Which, if I remember reading attachment A correctly, I could be wrong, but I don't think I am, we have yea or nay authority.
how that works, because,
I don't know.
yeah, because with,
Not your problem.
yeah, yeah, I'll stay out of it then, because.
Yeah.
Okay, so, John, will you pull up the language?
I will do that tonight.
Okay, sounds good. Anything else?
Clarification. So for October, did we change that date, or are we sticking with October 12th? Okay, perfect. Thank you.
12th.
No, October 12th. Yeah. I'm going to miss October 12th. We're doing September 21. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, we'll adjourn early. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.